Okay, welcome to the May 29th Thursday chat. We'll begin with Sharon Gouveia, who is going to do something we haven't done in quite this way before. Go ahead, Sharon.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Jerry. What I announced last week, we're doing a new program so that every week on the chat, if somebody has moved in during that week, we'll try to announce their name. And then when they are actually on the chat, we'll introduce them again so that you can see their faces. And coming out next Wednesday, there will be a sheet that will be included. It will be a separate sheet, but it will also be included with the weekly activities of the new people that have moved in May, along with their names, their telephone numbers, where they're moving from, what room they're in, unit they're in, and any of their activities. So I ask you to, if you see some new faces in the hallways, reach out, check the pictures. And what I'm going to do right now, I saw Eileen Silver, Eileen and George. Where are you, Eileen? I heard you before. I know the Comcast guy is there. Are you on? Evidently not. So Eileen and George, I have moved into Cottage 53. And I saw Joan Racklin in the car. Oh, there she is. She's waving now. Joan Racklin and her husband Seymour Small have moved into 5104. They are my next door neighbors. So when you see them in the hall, welcome them and look forward to being able to do this every week. If there are new people moving in, every other week, depending on when we have people coming in. Thank you for that. But I also have a second announcement, which is kind of hush hush. So, we don't want the loyalists to know about this. So there is a secret meeting at the Green Dragon Tavern, also known as Great Meadow Hall. You have heard that the British Crown has imposed many taxes on us colonists to pay for their wars. Their soldiers are stationed in our homes right here in Boston. We cannot and will not stand for this. We are coming together to decide on a plan of action. So join Paul Revere, John Hancock, Sam Adams at the Green Dragon Tavern on June 16th, which is the usual time for the wind down. But instead of going to another country, we're going back in time. So we're going to start at 3:30. We're meeting earlier to avoid notice by the British troops. And please come in your regular colonial garb so they won't suspect anything. So if you have anything that you feel that would be help you feel more in the time period that we're exploring, like 1775, come dressed. Whatever you have would be great. So see you on June 16th, and shh, don't let the British know. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you. Actually, that's the last of the resident announcements, unless somebody else had requested it and I failed to see it. If you have an announcement, just raise your hand. Okay, we'll move on then to Nancy Vega.
Hi, everybody. In case you didn't know, courses have officially started as of today. From what I can tell, people are really excited about what's to come. The next class is going to start this coming Sunday with Nate discussing world religions and ancient civilizations, I think. But following that, there is a 2 o'clock program presented by one of my favorite speakers that we have here seasonally. He comes from Florida. His name is Harry Getzoff. He is going to discuss ABBA, which is something that I believe more than a few of you had asked him to present on. It's going to be an hour and a half. He used to be a entertainment lawyer, which I think is the most fascinating position you could have. He has all the juicy gossip, so I really hope you come. That's this Sunday. And then following that, we have a lovely mother-daughter piano duo recital. They've been here before and they are super excited to present their newest program. And so I'm really hoping you guys come to that. That's on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. And the last plugin that I wanted to mention is actually on Fridays. We happen to have current events. We're rescheduling it because of the courses. It's going to happen at 1 o'clock for the rest of the month of June. But I just wanted to kindly and warmly invite everyone to just join us for a thoughtful conversation about the world around us. Each week, we cover a wide range of topics from government and politics to the economy, local news, technology, and health. But it's not just about the headlines. We also dive into personal reflections, big picture questions about how life is changing and what it all means. Whether you're passionate about current events or just curious to hear different perspectives, this is honestly a very welcoming space to share your thoughts, ask questions, and connect with others. And all viewpoints are welcome. So we really hope that we can talk about what matters together. So I'd like to invite you guys to join us. And I think that's it. Thank you.
We have a question from Charlie Small.
I'm sorry, Nancy. I missed the timing of that first event, the ABBA. When is that?
Yes, ABBA is happening this Sunday, June 1st from 2 to 3:30. It's an hour and a half long, but he promises he's going to have a lot of good stuff.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Any other questions of Nancy? Okay, we'll move on to Josh Ferraro.
Thanks, Jerry. Hello, everyone. First, I just wanted to start and say thank you for everyone who came out this past Monday. We had the kind of inaugural barbecue in Nosh for Memorial Day. It was very well attended, and overall, I have heard some great feedback. Specifically, the ribs I heard were very good. So it was just nice to see it hustling and bustling, and I hope everyone had a good time. For the next 2 Mondays, we have Shavuot on this upcoming Monday. So Nosh will be closed for dinner with a communal dinner in Great Meadow Hall. We'll keep the store and salad bar open until 6 p.m. And then the following Monday, the 9th, is birthday night. So we will pick up the barbecues again the following Monday, June 16th. And those menus will get posted along with the weekly specials for the barbecues. Brunch, Father's Day brunch will be the next brunch that we offer. I do want to recognize that the first menu we sent out last week, trying to get ahead, had one typo. It said Winter Garden. This is a Central brunch on Father's Day. We will resend that menu out with the correction in this week's dining communication. And you can start making those reservations, as is usual in Centro, 1 week in advance. So the menu is out. You can reserve a week in advance. And as typical for our brunches, family and guests are
yes.
welcome.
What time is the salad bar open?
And then finally,
make their own salads.
Sorry, I distracted. I just want to encourage the flyer about the secret meeting coming up on Monday, June 16th, will also be included in this dining communication. I know that Sharon touched upon it. Please don't share that flyer with anyone outside because that is a very hush-hush. So we want to keep it within ourselves. So that flyer will also be included in this week's dining communications. Jerry, if there are any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them.
I think Masha Vanicelli had a question. Masha? No? I guess not.
Arugula for dessert.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, Rona.
Yeah, getting back to Nancy Vega for 1 minute. The class was terrific today, but we only have 4 sessions of each of the classes.
Paparazzi patio.
Huh?
Go ahead. Keep going.
Something happens, I don't know what. And I was curious as to the reason for that and why it's $50 instead of $40 for 2 less classes.
So
It was very stimulating. It was terrific.
So with all good things come, consequences. as the pricing of everything continues to go up, so have our instructors. The $50 was something that we had already implemented. It was one of the last semesters that Larissa had did, so I just maintained that integrity. The only reason why this semester was shorter was because of two things. The amazing instructors and what they were offering really, really, really want a summer vacation. So it was either have a bunch of different gaps or have a nice, neat 4 session. And I asked them, are they positive they can still deliver the same amount of information that they would have in 6 weeks? And they promised me they could. And they also left room where if you were interested in more, they would be more than happy to schedule another semester following their vacations.
Okay, 2 other comments from people
Sure.
who are watching.
Okay.
The woman who was wonderful, and of course, I don't remember her name. She
Carolyn.
talked so quickly that many people in the audience couldn't pick up on what she said. You know, somebody said if you're under 40, you get it. Over 40, you don't. It was hard. I had to really get into it.
Okay.
So I thought you should know that.
Noted. I promise you I have follow-up feedback for her, but she was really excited and she said she's really looking forward to the next 3 weeks with you
Yeah,
guys.
she was amazing.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions on either Josh or Nancy? All right, I guess we're gonna have a reasonably short meeting. Matt, you're on.
All right, thanks.
Hello, I've got my hand up. I don't know how to.
Oh, Neil Glazer,
sorry.
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just wanted all of us to know that one of our members, Judge Barzilay, has retired from a court that today struck down all of President Trump's tariffs. Bravo to that court, and congratulations to Judge Barzilay.
Thank you so much.
I didn't know you were here.
Yeah, that actually reminded me, and I will do this. I'm going to contact Michael and see if there's any interest in a residence present on the Court of International Trade, since it is now in the news and it's done, the opinion has come down. So thanks, Neil, for recognizing that. Very proud to see my court in the news.
It's in the spotlight.
Thank you. Any other addition? Okay, Matt.
All right, terrific. Thanks, Jerry. Hello, everyone. Hope everybody's doing well. I want to start off with some congratulations to our very own Director of Community Life. Mark yesterday graduated with his Master's in Aging Services. So way to go, Mark. This is something that he's been quietly working on in the background and hasn't made a lot of noise about it over the years. But yesterday was the culmination of all his hard work. So Mark, just an opportunity to brag about you and maybe embarrass you a little bit and let the community know of your incredible achievement. So
you accomplished both. You accomplished both. Thanks, Matt.
Fantastic. That was the goal. I think the community can see that the landscape master plan is underway. I heard a lot of interesting feedback about the machines that were digging holes out there for the trees. And I saw them today doing some more prep work and whatnot. So that is well underway, in addition to the overhang to the community center being painted and refinished. That one's going to take a few more days. There's some serious work to do there. There's a lot of scraping that those guys have been doing. So it's going to take a little bit of time. And then the netting that came down is an incredibly intricate clasp netting. So that'll be going back up and that'll take some time as well. But so we hope to have that wrapped up. Hopefully latest the end of next week, but that's a reasonably challenging project just based on location and lifts and things like that. But that's coming along pretty well. So thank you everyone for your patience. I know that work is front and center and noisy a little bit, so thank you. Mark, now that I have you on the screen here, would you mind just updating everybody a little bit on the coverage plan with Rabbi Judy being out?
Sure. Thanks, Matt. Hi, everyone. So I spoke with Rabbi Judy earlier this week. She called me on Monday from Israel. She's doing okay. I mean, not great, but doing okay and in recovery mode. She, number one, wanted to thank everyone. She's gotten so many emails and just notes from everyone, wishing her well, and she really appreciates that, from afar. She did inform me that right now her return date is slated for June 12th. She was hoping to come back before then. There weren't flights available, but she right now is booked on a flight for June 12th. And to be determined what that means, you know, when she gets back in terms of her recovery and her return here to Newbridge. But in the interim, all the bases are covered. Between Rabbi Karen and Rabbi Beth, everything is being accounted for in terms of Shabbat services, any coverage for, you know, any residents that may pass away and need support of the rabbis. So everything is in order, and you know, Judy is in touch with both Karen and Rabbi Beth from Israel, and you know, we certainly can get in touch with her as needed. Rabbi Karen is actually away this week, returning on Sunday, so Rabbi Beth is doing a lot of the coverage this week. But as always, if anything comes up at all, please reach out to, you know, either Beth or Karen or myself or Matt, and we can get you connected as needed. But again, Judy sends her thanks to everyone, and looks forward to getting home real soon.
Mark, that's terrific. Thank you so much for all your support in Judy's absence. I'm just going to pause for a moment, Jerry, to see if anybody has any questions thus far.
Are you raising your hand, Barbara? You need to unmute.
Can you share the email or, you know, the address that we can get in touch with Judy with, please?
Barbara, the best way to get in touch with Judy would be just through her HSL email, her regular.
Okay. So, she has access to
Oh, yeah.
that?
She does.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Barbara. A reminder to everybody that our new CEO of Hebrew Senior Life begins on June 9th. That'll be his first day. And you'll see him around campus. We have some tours scheduled. He's going to work from the campus, I think, one day a month. So you'll see him on campus and you'll get to know him a little bit. And he'll be around. I'm not quite sure where his makeshift office space is going to be yet, but it's a nice opportunity for everybody to connect with him. Again,
I
his name
spoke
is...
to him, and he'll be on the Zoom when he's officially here, or the next Zoom
Awesome.
after June 9th.
That's great, Jerry. His name's Adam Scott, and he's got a lot of terrific experience. I think everybody's going to really like him.
Oh, we have a question from Rona Goodman. Go ahead.
Yeah, I take it that I should sell the sculpture in my backyard, Matt, that you don't want it.
Well, I don't think that's necessarily true, but the landscape master plan's a slow-moving process.
Yeah, but I don't know if you really see or know anything about the sculpture. I should really talk to you about it.
Okay.
I'll make a date. I'll go see you.
Sounds good, Ron.
You have
Thank
to
you.
pay me though.
And now Marlene Yesley.
I just want to say that Adam Scott is going to be a speaker at the Scholarship Awards ceremony on July 22nd also. So people have a chance to hear from him in a slightly more formal way.
Thank you, Marlene. That's wonderful. And then lastly, I just want to make a little space for Victor Furtado to talk a little bit about security on campus and the things that we've been doing on campus in light of some of the recent events that have been occurring, particularly in DC. So actually, I see another hand raised. So before we go to Victor.
Okay, Betsy, go ahead.
I don't know if this is not Matt, but I was stopped on Monday, somebody by an ambulance trying to find the 3000 building. And I think an awful lot I know it's been brought up before, but an awful lot has to do with the signage. You cannot see the sign that says this is a 4,000 building to get in here. You can sort of read the villas, but the rest isn't there. And I really think that something has to be done. When an ambulance stops me, I would get nervous if I was the person waiting and knew that they couldn't find it. I've had that happen someplace else. And
thanks, Betsy.
Where I was waiting. So I'd like to see the landscape people and maybe the signage taken care of. I know this isn't the first time that somebody's brought it up, but
I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, Victor.
Thank you, Matt. Hello, everybody. Yeah, I appreciate the platform. As Matt stated, you know, being part of the faith-based community and seeing violence rooted in ideology, like we saw out of Washington, was alarming and dispiriting, and it was sad for me to see. Like I see so many other news reports of these sorts of things, but I also like to focus on the positives and the things that we are doing, in particular Dedham Police, who are absolutely always on brand as far as their support. I received a call from Chief Michael D'Entermont late Thursday, and again in Friday afternoon, stating that he was committing a lot of uniformed and non-uniformed officers on property, and that they were going to be doing walking patrols of inside the community to augment their sort of stationary and exterior patrols. And lo and behold, Friday they did it. Our security team got a lot of see something, say somethings. They were sort of worried seeing uniformed officers. So, and then again, Saturday I was manager on duty, and Dedham Police really they continue to just provide that sort of coverage, along with the regular presence during Rashi business hours. So I also did speak to Chief D'Entermont and Dispatch Ellis about ensuring that officers are also keeping an eye out on some of the speeding issues that we've been observing. And we've had security sort of up our speed audits around the campus. So lastly, our partnership with the Combined Jewish Philanthropies and the Communal Security Initiatives Group, in particularly Jeremy Yemen, Dan Levinson, and Tony Neves. We have really have been partnering up on training, community trainings for staff. And I'm very proud to announce here on Jerry's Zoom, on our Thursday Zoom, that be on the lookout, because we're going to be having some Tuesdays with security with Communal Security Initiative, CJP group. And the first topic that we're going to train and present for our local IL members is situational awareness, which ties in beautifully to our mantra of see something, say something. So with that being said,
we had some questions, Victor.
Yep.
So Terry Union first. Unmute. There you go.
Unmute?
You're all set. Go ahead.
So I have actually two questions, one for the last two speakers. Is that okay if you have two questions?
Yeah, sure.
So to follow up with what Rona said, I reported this before because that path is not clear. And if you come to Newbridge, you see it says the 5,000 building is up the hill. And I've had one incident where someone drove up the hill because the path where it ends leads right to my cottage. That's number one. But the other thing has to do with what Victor was talking about. And I just wanted to mention the whole issue that I hope people are paying attention to all the scams that are out there, because I've had experience with about 3 of them by now. And I think that security and Victor have really been on top of it and helping us stay safe. But you really need to be careful. That's all.
Thank you, Terry.
Larry Crone.
so much, Terry.
I don't know if anybody said anything about it before, but I know when I turn in left off of 135, the lights on the Newbridge sign are such that it obscures the awareness of where the curb is on the far side as you turn in. And I know that's never been lined like the beautiful job that was done elsewhere in Newbridge. And it would really be helpful, I think, to have the white lining on that curb or at the beginning of the curb.
Okay. Thank you. Mitch Freeman. I got you.
Yeah, I want to talk about scams from Terry. I went to renew my registration on my car and I typed in RMV. The site pops up, but in front of RMV, these scam ones come up at the top of the page. And you can easily get on them before you hit the legitimate state one. So you got to watch it because you type in there, they'll put in your car license plate, they'll type, everything pops up, your address and everything like that. I caught it at the end, but watch these things because what you type in does not come out at the top of the screen, these scam ones. And I typed in RMV, so just be careful.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Any
Rich.
other? Oh, Rona, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about Rashi, the security there, because I think that would be one of the reasons that somebody would want to attack this place because of the school, and they do school. So are you training people in Rashi, the teachers? And
Rona, I love it. I absolutely, the two trainings in May that we did, the Be Aware and De-escalation training hosted by CJP, we actually invited Rashi. We had very minimal turnout, but they know that we're going to be ramping up our education game. If we all are kind of trained and speaking the same language, it just builds a communal resiliency. And number two is I was actually at Rashi today. We had a see something, say something, and they had 2 security people and a Dedham police officer there. And we have our radios tied together, and my another side project that I have is tying our CCTV together too. So these are all sort of evolution items that we're continuously pecking at. Thank you, Rona.
I knew you were on top, but I just wanted you to tell everybody.
I love it, Rona. The Rashi School was the very first thing I noticed when I pulled into this property 14 years ago, and it made me realize I needed to bring my A game as a security practitioner. That school is critical.
Yeah, good.
Okay, Prue Thorner.
Has anyone mentioned that there are now flashing lights in the garage, orange lights at various intersections?
Thank you, Prue. I'm sorry to laugh. I actually, I got some feedback asking to have those lights reactivated. And what the purpose of those lights are is just sort of to get your attention, to sort of slow you down, make you sort of think about where you're at. So thank you so much, Prue. Great observation. That just went up this afternoon.
Thank you, Victor. So a few things. One would be, Victor and I are in constant communication and talking about how we can make this community as secure as possible. And oftentimes when things happen around the nation, we're on the phone immediately, talking about how we feel about the safety measures at Newbridge. How do we make sure everybody's safe? What do we do so we can lay our heads down at night and feel good about what's happening? And I would just want to extend a big thanks to Victor because he's always available. It doesn't matter what time I reach out to him. Conversations at 10 o'clock at night happen more often than folks know. And he's so responsive. But the point that I want to make here is just because we're not sending out constant contacts the day after an event saying, this horrible tragedy happened, is deliberate because we're working on it in the background, number one, and we want you to feel confident and know that we're on it. But at the same time, we don't want to be putting it in front of everybody's faces unnecessarily so and creating fear and concern. So it's a sensitive balancing act there that we're constantly trying to do. But with that being said, it is a very, very real concern that comes with the leadership of a campus like this. And it's something that we take incredibly seriously. And so I asked Victor to come on today just to share with everybody what we're doing and how we're working with the Dedham Police, just to reinforce that that this stuff is happening in the background and it will always be happening. We will not let our eyes off the prize on this. And so I just want everybody to hear that. The second thing is I'm consistently hearing that there's an issue with the 3,000, 4,000 signage. I've already sent a note to the folks that be to see if we can get a sign company to take a look at this thing and figure out what's going on there. When the community was built, the idea was that everybody would come in through the main entrance. There's a lot of security reasons for that now, more so than ever. So we know who's coming in the building. But I do at the same time understand that a lot of folks have family members pick them up outside of those buildings. May be helpful for some delivery stuff now and then, and of course ambulances. So we'll look into that and see if we can find a resolution to that sooner than later. As you know, things oftentimes are not quick. So we'll talk with the sign company and talk with Kevin and see if anything's blocking that signage thing.
Yeah.
And then Terry, the 5,000 building sign, the one that points down the road, but people go up the hill. We recently moved that one to the other side of the road at the request of many residents because folks were getting confused. So we could push it even further down the road. That might be a possibility. But signage is one of those things that is great when it works. But if it doesn't work for everybody, it's not what you want it to be. And that's kind of what we're dealing with here. Signage is a continual discussion that's been here as long as I have worked here. So just want to put that out there to the community.
Rona, go ahead.
Yeah, you said not to scare people that live here. Everybody is afraid. We all know what's happening with anti-Semitism and people getting killed and everything. So I think it is important to talk about it here and to tell us what you're doing, so we'll be less afraid. At least I'll be.
Rona, I agree. That's why we've decided to use the Thursday format to do that and not separate it out as a separate communication. What happens though is there are some folks on campus that do get very nervous about this.
Yeah, I do.
And then what happens on our end is we end up fielding the phone calls and personally calming folks down one by one. And it takes us out of our ability to do the work that we need to be focused on. So it's like I said, it's delicate.
Maybe you could have a meeting with the whole place here and talk about this kind of thing. You know, at the big hall in Newbridge, and talk about all of this stuff. People are really nervous. It's not one or two people. It's a lot of.
It's in my letter Friday. We're talking about it here. I mean, we're trying to make the space to make sure everybody knows what we're doing and how we're doing it.
Victor, did you have something to add to that?
Yeah, I do. I just wanted to emphasize and remind the whole community, anytime there's a Tuesdays with Security, whether it's and we're actually planning on doing it not just on Tuesdays too. We're working with Nancy and Joe and Mark on expanding the program, but anytime we have a security program, it's a wonderful time to get together, go through the presentation, learn together. I learned so much from you guys. The scam stuff, I'm so glad we've evolved that training, because Mitch and the community members that mentioned that this is just a growing problem are correct. And that us being together and connected and having open dialogue in person and in Zoom, it's just so important. So take advantage of those programs, guys. I always look forward to, and my team looks forward to seeing you guys in person.
Anything else, Matt?
That's all. Just thank you, everyone. Appreciate the time together.
Did you give a report on COVID?
There's no report on COVID, Jerry. Good news.
Okay. That's
nothing to report.
That's a report.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.